All right, Glenn, thanks for that information. Again, this is a potential rain-wrapped tornado, and to reset you, it's 3:31 in the afternoon, and for everyone watching us on NBC10, we are covering this tornado warning, and for all of our listeners on KYW News Radio 1060, we have a tornado warning in effect for Kent County in Delaware until 4 o'clock. This line of storms moving from Philadelphia, where I'm seeing and hearing rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning, down into Delaware, where this is the hardier part of the storm system, moving into an area that is ripe for the potential of damaging winds and a brief rain-wrapped tornado. Again, this storm system, you won't be able to see the tornado. It will be rain-wrapped, and these storms are moving at about 50 miles per hour. So I'm going to plot some of the rainfall rates. These are absolutely blinding downpours. So if you're listening on the radio, if you're in your car and you're in Delaware, you see this 3 3/4 inches of rain per hour. This is a live look at Philadelphia International Airport, where the thunderstorms are crossing right now. Again, blinding downpours. Philadelphia has received over an inch of rain today so far. So again, tough travel conditions. We've had aerial flood advisories, meaning that conditions are not good. This is a live look at the Schuylkill Expressway at the Roosevelt Boulevard. Again, traffic moving much slower than normal. You can expect, if you are expecting a loved one home tonight, that commute will be slower. Good news, this is the last of the line of storms. You can see I-95 in South Philadelphia. Again, the leading edge of those thunderstorms there. We have observed lightning strikes and some loud cracks of thunder. The line in Philadelphia, not severe as of now, but look at the temperature, up to 67. For much of the morning, it was kind of cool in the upper 50s, but we've popped now into the 60s, and a lot of areas just to the south of Philadelphia are prone to some severe weather. So what I want to show you again, show you the recap, because we have multiple warnings across the area, not just in Delaware. We have areas in and around Philadelphia with flash flood warnings, including areas of Montgomery County and Chester County. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings for Delaware County. So if you're in and around I-95 near the airport, south of there, and then we have that tornado warning again for areas. It's a small area, but an area of Kent County. This is the last and final round of thunderstorms after what has been just a very tough day in terms of weather. We've had wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour down across Long Beach Island. I'm going to pull up the storm reports for you. These are all the storm reports that we've seen over the last 12 hours or so. And we've seen anywhere from between 85 mile per hour winds at the Jersey Shore to some damage up across the Lehigh Valley. And we've seen a number of flooding reports in and around Philadelphia. We've plotted upwards over 100 storm reports, 128 storm reports as of this hour. So it's been a very disruptful day, and we are looking for the end of it, and we will be able to do that. So for all of our listeners on the radio and for all those just joining us, again, we have a tornado warning in and around Kent County in Delaware till 4 o'clock. Again, this is a possible rain-wrapped tornado. What I'm doing right now is looking at our National Weather Service chat room just to see if there are any updates right now. Again, this is a radar-indicated tornado. This has not been observed by anybody, but again, it could produce a tornado at any time, and this tornado would not be visible. You would not be able to see this. This would be wrapped in rain. And again, this storm system moving to the east at about 55 miles per hour. So we're going to put the storm track on that for you, and we're going to draw the towns that are in the path of this potential tornado. Again, this is in effect until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So putting in east at 50 miles per hour. Looks like Felton at 340, Rising Sun at 344, 347 in Frederica, and Bowers at 351. Again, you want to be in the lowest floor of your home, away from windows, and preferably if you're driving and you see blinding downpours and it feels unsafe, you want to pull over to the side of the road, not under an overpass, that's for sure. So again, we have that tornado warning until 4 o'clock this afternoon. If we could put some more cameras up, if we could pull up the Blue Rocks camera there in Wilmington to see what that looks like right now. Again, a lot of these severe storms moving through northern Newcastle County. Again, the tornado warning is in effect for Kent County. For anybody that's driving down south of Dover right now, again, this is a fairly rural area, but there could be a rain-wrapped tornado. Also, cameras in and around Philadelphia are showing that heavy line of thunderstorms. There you go. There's the Blue Rock camera at the moment. A live look at Wilmington, where there's heavy downpours, lightning and thunder are rolling through. If there's damaging winds, it's in Newcastle County. That area has had a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. It's a little more ripe for damaging winds and, yeah, possibly even an isolated tornado. That tornado watch, if you're just joining us, is in effect until 6 o'clock this evening, although I think that line of storms will be clear about 5 o'clock. So we have about another hour and a half to go. There you go, I-95 showing some of the wet roadways in and around Philadelphia. Again, a lot of rain, too, with these storms. We've seen the Wissahickon Creek at bank full and even running over its banks in parts of Philadelphia and Montgomery County. So some localized road closures possible. I'm going to turn it over now to NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, who has some more information on these severe storms rolling through.
Yeah, Steve, we were talking about that one tornado warning. It is for a very small area, and the rest of the area has the tornado watch. Now, they have not canceled that watch yet, but it's possible that for portions of Pennsylvania, they will. The watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get it, but it does mean that the threat is there. And we've been talking about this threat really for days. A tornado warning means that a tornado is likely. It is probably either detected by people or by radar. Now, modern day radars are able to see the winds inside the storm, and they can see whether they're rotating or not. That's especially true for the strong tornadoes. So we don't know if this would be a weak one or a strong one, so you just have to assume that it's strong enough to cause damage to your house. So what you want to do is to find shelter immediately. You want to move away from windows and away from the highest floor. You want to get to the lowest floor you can. Protect your head and your neck if you're in a vulnerable area. If, for example, you have a loved one who's out on the road, you should not be driving. You pull over to the side of the road, you get out, you get into a low spot. You do not get into an underpass of a highway, and do not drive into it or try to outrace it, because this thing's moving at 50 miles an hour and it doesn't have traffic in front of it. So people try to do this sometimes, and some of the biggest fatality percentages are related to people in cars. Now, we have a situation here where there are fewer people, way fewer people on the roads than there would normally be at this time of the day. So in that respect, it's a fortunate thing. But once again, in your house, the top floor is the worst. Windows, the worst. When you get down, if you have a basement, in the basement. If not, in an interior room, away from windows. This is only a limited threat. You only have to do this for like another half hour, less than a half hour. But
so actually, Glenn, we have some new. Yeah, thank you, Glenn. We have some new information for you. That tornado warning has been canceled. So again, the situation, these things can flare up very quickly and then settle down very quickly. And that's indeed, we had a very tight signature over here into the Maryland-Delaware line, and then it has loosened up. So that's not to say that this circulation may not tighten back up again. If that would be the case, we would see a potentially rain-wrapped tornado. There are other circulations in the line down to the south. So again, the coast is not clear right now. But again, we'll be watching this line. If anything flares up, at the very least, damaging winds are possible with this. What you're looking at right now, First Alert meteorologist Brittany Ship is driving the radar for me, showing me the colors. Green is toward the radar, red is away from the radar. It helps me give an indication of whether the winds are rotating or not. And right now that circulation has weakened just a bit. But again, we're going to watch it. It may flare back up again. If that's the case, we'll break in. But as of now, that tornado warning has been canceled. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for central Delaware until 4 o'clock. We'll have the latest coming up on NBC 10 News at 4 o'clock. All right.
Now your NBC 10 First Alert weather.
3:46 on this Monday afternoon. As we said, this is an ever-changing situation. Things can flare up quickly, and that is the case once again. We have a new tornado warning. Same storm it's a different part of the storm now, moving into Kent County. 3:45 or 4 o'clock is the ending time on this tornado warning. Places in this tornado warning: Derby Shores and over to Bakers from 4 p.m. Again, this storm moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. So what the storm is doing, it's cycling through. So it's cycled back. No tornado. Now the tornado threat is ramping up once again. So some of the towns that are in the threat of this tornado include Camden, London Village, Woodside. Storm is here. Again, it's moving to the east. So all these upstream communities, Lebanon, over to Magnolia, you have to be in your safe place right now. Your lowest floor of your home, away from windows. Again, some of these side streets you don't want to be traveling on. Again, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. The storm system, in addition to the tornado threat off to the west, has heavy rain. Heavy rain, maybe some small hail. Hail is not the biggest threat with these storms. A lot of lightning and very intense downpours. And on the western side of it, there could be a rain-wrapped tornado. But you can see that heavy rain band extends from Minner's Corner over to Felton, over to Riverview. Again, rainfall rates. This is why you would not see the tornado wrapped in rain, over 3.5 inches of rain in an hour with some of these storms. Now, this is the latest radar scan updating. The heaviest rainfall now to the east of there, Riverview over to Magnolia. Again, the storm is moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. It's fast moving. And again, and where you're under these darker colors, over 5 inches of rain. We've been watching some of our live cameras across the area showing some of the downpours. In fact, I'm looking out right now at the Adventure Aquarium camera in Philadelphia. It's just an ominous looking sky. So again, this is south of Philadelphia into the state of Delaware. Kent County, a tornado warning in effect till 4 p.m. You can see this is the area that's impacted by this possible tornado moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. Now, this has been seen by a National Weather Service meteorologist at a radar screen. This has not been an observed tornado yet. But again, you would likely not be able to see this tornado as it is kind of shrouded in rain and also packaged with some damaging winds. So anywhere from Little Creek over to Magnolia to Bowers, this tornado warning in effect till 4 p.m. This is part of a line that extends all the way up to Philadelphia. We've seen rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches an hour, even some small hail, but it's really this leading edge, damaging winds possible, and possibly a small tornado. Now, NBC10 First Alert Meteorologist Brittany Ship is driving the radar. And Brittany, I would ask you if you could put this on to the velocity mode from the Dover site to see where this potential rotation is. We're going to be looking for any bright green spots. Also, maybe some green next to red colors. That's indicating a sign of some potential rotation. Again, so these storms are moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. We broke in about 20 minutes ago with a warning, and then it got canceled. Again, this could happen once again. These storm systems tend to flare up very quickly. It kind of looks like a loose circulation right along there, which is, again, could be 80, 90 mile per hour winds with this. And it could also be impacting you with some lightning, some thunder. And again, you may not be able to see this tornado. Again, these are rain-wrapped tornadoes. This storm system has a history of producing a lot of damage across the south. I'm looking for the radar scan here. Not really seeing, maybe over here, a little bit of a circulation. Again, it's not looking as impressive as it was earlier. These can flare up within a matter of seconds and then wind back down. Again, but it would be somewhere in this vicinity here that we are looking at a potential tornado. So if we could go back to the regular radar with the warning, since this picture isn't looking so hot, and we'll walk you through the impacts again of this potential storm system. Also, we can show some of the cameras across the area and some of the storm reports too, because we've had a lot of damage today. This is the final line of storms moving through the area. You can see this is the radar picture that you're more familiar with. You see the bright reds. The oranges, that's the heavy rain. Again, somewhere in this storm system, there may be a rain-wrapped tornado. It doesn't have the classic signature that we look for, but that doesn't mean that there could be some damaging winds in an isolated tornado, rain-wrapped, moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. All of these communities from Generals Green down to just north of Bowers, you want to be in the lowest floor of your home, away from windows. This is not an ideal situation to be on the roads. If you know anybody commuting home or going to be commuting home soon in this area of Delaware, Kent County, you want to have them just put off plans for another 20 or 30 minutes. The storm is moving to the east fast enough that this storm will be clearing a lot of those areas shortly. So it's not in any given place for that long of a period of time. But right now, central parts of Kent County are under the threat for some severe weather. So 3:51 on this Monday afternoon. This warning is in effect till 4 o'clock. So these storms have been moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. So far today, the only tornadic producing storms, or potentially, are in the state of Delaware. We have not had any, thankfully, in Pennsylvania, although we've had a lot of damaging winds in certain locations. So I'm going to turn it over now. We have our whole team at work. NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is working safely from home, also tracking these storms at this hour.
Yeah, Steve, as he was mentioning, that one storm rotation in the storm by the National Weather Service. So now we've gone from the tornado watch, where the tornado is possible and you want to be prepared to take action. That's true for the whole area. You still have the tornado watch in effect. A tornado warning means that a tornado, they assume at least that it is happening because they can see that circulation in the cloud. Now that storm is very close to the Dover radar, and the closer the storm is to a radar, the more likely it is to find the circulation lower to the ground and be more accurate in detecting tornadoes when it's down there in central Delaware. But if you're in the path of that storm, or you see something that seems suspicious, like a tornado, very often wrapped in rain, you want to take shelter immediately. They're not long-lasting things. As Steve was saying, it's moving at 50 miles an hour. So it's moving away at almost a mile a minute. And these things are not very wide. They don't track for a long, long period of time. So it's a small window that you need to pay attention and to take action if you are in the path of this thing. Now, most of the damage in tornadoes is in the upper floors, the roof, for example, and also near the windows. So you want to get away from both of those things. To the lowest floor, if you have a basement, that's the best. If you don't have that, your lowest floor, in an interior room, a bathroom often becomes the safest place. For some people, it's a closet. I'm doing the weather from an interior room right now. It's not the safest room in my house. I can go down to the basement if there's something threatening my particular area. But you want to make sure that you follow these guidelines because it can make a tremendous difference. These are not the types of tornadoes that you saw down south, for example, that wipes out the whole town and there's nothing left of the house. Tornadoes in this part of the country tend to cause partial damage, like the roof, like knocking trees over into the upper floors of houses. So those are the things that are the real danger, or the main danger to people in this area. And the other thing, as Steve was mentioning, tornadoes in this part of the country are not real visible from a long way away. You can't just go outside and look at it 10 miles away and watch it coming to you. We got trees, we got mountains, we got all sorts of obstructions, including the rain. A lot of rain in this area, a lot of rain with these storms, and so they can be hidden, and that makes it a little bit trickier. So you can't rely on your eyes to see something coming at you. You have to rely on the warning and the radar and seeing the circulation in the cloud and trusting that those people at the Weather Service who issue that warning, they can see that circulation in the cloud.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Actually, I'm looking at one of our radar products on my phone right now, and it looks like that circulation has weakened. It looks like it is mainly now posing a threat for some damaging winds. In fact, I think the warning, a very small slice of the warning may still be in effect right here across Delaware. Again, the circulation's still there, but not looking like it was just about 10 minutes ago. It was looking very impressive. Now there's still a circulation, and damaging winds probably still the main threat, maybe an isolated tornado, but these storms are cycling, they evolve. So again, this is now starting to bow out. So it's featuring more of a bowing feature, which is still damaging winds 60 to 70 miles per hour. So if we could put a track on this storm, again, this thunderstorm is evolving, had a tornado threat, now looks like it's more of a damaging wind threat. We'll have to see if the Weather Service extends that warning. Again, these things can spin up very quickly in a matter of time, and current wind gusts down in that vicinity. Again, we're looking down here in areas just east of Dover, where you can see that line of severe weather has pushed off to the east. Again, that line of storms moving through Philadelphia right now, 66 degrees. Some heavy thunderstorms within the last hour, that back edge of the line now moving through Philadelphia. So the weather conditions will continue to improve. Areas that will still see the severe weather threat are down in central and southern Delaware, northern Newcastle County. Conditions will get better for you, but now this is mainly an issue for South Jersey. South Jersey, you are still in an environment that is favorable for severe weather, meaning gusts 60, 70 miles per hour. You can see some of these heavy thunderstorms near Mullica that have formed inland. The Jersey Shore has just been pounded today by very heavy winds outside of thunderstorms. Now the thunderstorms are moving toward the Jersey Shore. So there is a live look at Cape May, New Jersey, where we had 70 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts today. Parts of the Wildwood Boardwalk damaged significantly due to those destructive winds. And then these storms really have hit almost every community with over an inch of rain. Almost 2 to 3 inches of rain across areas of the suburbs, too. So again, depends where you live, what you got today. But the Jersey Shore has just been absolutely slammed by those damaging winds and now this line of severe storms. So where you see the orange colors on our map, orange colors indicate a severe thunderstorm warning. You need to take these just as seriously as what we had with the tornado warning, because the winds with these storms are 70, 80 miles per hour, which can do the same damage as a tornado. Again, Estelle Manor 401, First Alert Meteorologist Brittany Ship putting this track on the map for me. 408 Galloway, 425 in Beach Haven, 430 Summers Point, 443 in Atlantic City. Again, these storms moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. There's two clusters. This is one. The second line is the final line of storms, but that one could be the severe line moving through parts of South Jersey right now from Delaware Bay up to areas of Ocean County. We turn it over now to Aaron for NBC10 News at 4 o'clock.